Meditation, Emotion, and Healing by William G. Defoore, Ph.D. Narrated by William G. Defoore.
Our topic, meditation, emotion, and healing, is because they're all connected. You're not going to meditate without experiencing and moving through your emotions. Emotions are one of the reasons that people choose to meditate and one of the reasons that people stop meditating. It's because they can kind of get in the way. And healing is one of the many benefits of meditation. So we might ask, why meditate? For healing. That's top of the list. And for relaxation, which you're probably very well aware that the more relaxed you are, the more effectively you heal. And for peace of mind. Everybody could use a little more of that. Accessing wisdom. For connecting with yourself. That is your emotional, mental self, but also your spiritual self. And to make a spiritual connection. And ultimately to facilitate your development. So those are a few of the kind of broad reasons to meditate. So let's look at the journey of meditation. And the reason for meditating, as I mentioned, is one of the primary reasons, is healing. And I want you to think that healing comes from within. It doesn't come from a physician, from a treatment, from medication. It comes from within us. So when we get the right treatment and the right medication, or sometimes for some minor illnesses we don't need any treatment, we just automatically heal because our bodies are naturally self-healing organisms. And meditation helps us to access that self-healing capacity. Along the way, in the process of meditating, we're going to run into, I call them signposts, we could also call them problems or challenges in the body, in the mind, and in emotions. How many of you have tried to meditate? Okay, good. Now, how many of you currently meditate? That's interesting. We got two hands with currently meditating, and most of the room have tried to meditate. So a lot of people give it an effort, but run into obstacles. And some of those obstacles is because the body doesn't seem to like it. It's not physically comfortable. It doesn't feel right physically. The mind gets in the way. That's probably the biggest obstacle, is the mental chatter and all of the things that our mind will tell us as reasons not to even sit down and meditate in the first place. And then once we do sit down to meditate, all of the things that the mind will tell us to do instead. Like, we need to get up and get busy. What are you doing? Et cetera, et cetera. And then emotions. My first meditation retreat, I went to a 5-day silent meditation retreat where we got up at 4:30 in the morning. And we did sitting and walking meditation, and the whole 5 days was in silence. And an hour of work and an hour of rest, and then, of course, meals during the day, and we finished meditating at 8:30 at night, 5 days in a row. So it was very, very intensive, and one of the things that I noticed is that a lot of people had a tremendous amount of emotion just surfacing, just pouring out of them during that meditation process. And for some, it was too intense, and they had to leave. But most of the people were able to stay. And if you look at this process, the first part of it is physical, getting your body to sit down and meditate, getting your mind to let you sit down and meditate, and then making it through the emotions. That's when you get to the source of healing within. And so I want you to think of all of the barriers in your body, your mind, and your emotions as signposts and not barriers. You know, if you get confused by the signs on a journey, you might make a wrong turn. That doesn't mean you have to give up on your journey. And the goal of meditation being to contact that source of healing within, that sense of spiritual peace. But the meditation is not just, like some people say, I tried meditating and it didn't work. Meaning, I didn't experience this deep, wonderful, healing peace. Sometimes it can take years of meditating before a person actually experiences that. So sitting awkwardly with your mind racing is meditating. Sitting in the wrong position with way too much mental chatter and noise outside the window and
Sample complete. Ready to continue?